The next thing that we need to understand is the dynamics of a business, the concept of what really a business is and how it works and how it functions, how it stays healthy, stays alive. You know, it amazes me. We live in a free country, a capitalist system, a free market economy where people choose each other every day, and almost no one in this country understands that process or has any appreciation for what the value of what that process gives us as a people to our security and our well-being as a society or even as individuals. We take our business community for granted and we think that it's always going to be there. Well, I can tell you this is a fallacy, and we have mountains of evidence to prove it. Over the past 50 years, our nation has seen the loss of millions, and I mean millions, of well-paying jobs. You know, we exported much of our manufacturing process out of the United States from about 1975 to the end of the century. You know, it started with textiles in the 50s, and it just kept moving forward with electronic products and automobiles and office equipment and steel production and aircraft production, just to mention a few. And now, most recently, what we're starting to see is that every major airline in our country is in financial trouble. And most recently, in the last year or two, what we're seeing is that major companies are starting to export service jobs by hiring professional talents abroad because they're getting more for their money. Now, can you imagine that? We used to send manufacturing out of the country, and no one could stop that because of the way we function. Now we're actually exporting white-collar service jobs. I hate to have to say this, but our nation as a whole is not very friendly to business. And businesses have to struggle to stay alive. And I do mean struggle. And I don't care what size they are. All businesses have to struggle to stay alive. Now, there's often an upside and a downside to situations. And I can tell you this, what I just said to you, the fact that businesses have to struggle to stay alive, presents you as an employee with a wonderful, and I mean wonderful, opportunity. In order to understand this, I'd like you to compare a business to an infant or a small child, and I want to make a point. You know, everyone knows that a small child is helpless by itself. Now, if a child is left unattended, it will die on its own. We all know that. But if a child is supported properly, the child will grow into adulthood and its full potential will be realized, and its full potential is really unlimited. Now, like the child, the business is also helpless on its own. It needs supported. But unlike the child, it never reaches adulthood. And I want to say that. A business never reaches adulthood. And it always continues to need supported. The general responsibility of supporting, maintaining a business falls on usually the owners or the managers or both. And if you talk to these two groups of people, what they're going to tell you is that the burden feels overwhelming. Generally, over and over, you're going to hear that again and again and again. And these people will also tell you that their number one problem is their employees and their employees' general lack of understanding and or concern for their problems or the business process as a whole. Now, what does this mean? This means that employees, number one, are basically ignorant and don't understand, and number two, they don't care. Their attitude is very simply this: you're the manager, you're the owner, it's up to you to keep this place open. I just come here, I just work here. Employees like that are everywhere. They're a dime a dozen. If that's the type of employee you are, you might want to consider changing that, and changing that right now. David, for the last 3-4 months now, we've been selling close to $475,000, $80,000 a month. Production is right around $400,000 a month. Now, how long do you expect to do that before we run into a crisis?
We're already in a crisis. It's frustrating because we can't get the numbers to keep the customer satisfied.
Why not?
You satisfied, because the employees don't care. The employees don't have the same thing, worried about getting the numbers done. They want time off. They don't want to help to get the production numbers up to where they need to be to keep things flowing where they need to be.
Well, why don't you just hire some more people?
Well, that's what we're doing. We placed an ad to get more people in here, but when you place an ad and you get 50 resumes, if you get 1 or 2 good ones out of there, you're lucky if you get that many.
What's wrong with the other 49?
They're not there. You get a bunch of people that don't care, and the quality is not there, and the kind of people come out. You need people that are loyal and dedicated to take care of their customer.
So how many good people do you need right now?
Right now, I could use 5 good people.
And it's hard to find them?
Yes.